Welcome to a screencast for equivalent expressions. After watching the screencast, you should be able to use some strategies so that you can identify equivalent expressions. And just remember, equivalent means the same. In order to have a good understanding of this lesson, you need to be able to combine like terms and should have a good understanding of the distributive property. We use equivalent expressions many times throughout our mathematical career, but in our immediate future, we're going to need it when we start solving equations. So this is an example problem. We want to know which expressions are equivalent to this one, and then they're going to give us 3 or 4 choices. And the directions do say choose all that apply. So this is not multiple choice, this is select all that are true. Now, the strategy that I have for this problem is to simplify each expression that they're giving us as much as possible and then compare. So simplify pretty much means no parentheses and all like terms have been simplified. So I am going to simplify 2 times the quantity 2x plus 4. So let's just give ourselves a little bit more room to work. And I'll start by distributing the 2. So I'm going to take that 2, multiply it by the 2x, and I'm going to do that part in my head. So 2 times 2x is 4x. I'm going to write down that addition symbol, because whatever symbol's in the middle gets copied down. And then I'm going to take the 2 times 4. I'm going to do that in my head. 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 times 2x plus 4, another way to write that is 4x plus 8. So those two are equivalent. It's just a different way of writing. So when I start to think about this 2 times 2x plus 4, instead I'm just going to think about 4x plus 8 because they mean the same. So let's take a look at this first choice. Does this expression simplify to 4x plus 8? So we'll get some room to work. I've got a lot going on here, but those are not like terms. They can't be combined anyway, but anyway, it's addition. According to order of operations, we would be doing multiplication anyway. Inside the parentheses, there's not like terms. So I think my first step is going to be to distribute that 3. So I'll bring down the x plus. I'm going to distribute that 3 to the x, and I'll do that in my head. That would be 3x. Bring down the plus sign. We'll distribute the 3 to the 2, and that would be 6. And then don't forget about the plus 2. So we just make sure that you're writing a complete sentence underneath each time. That is how we show appropriate mathematics. Now I have no more parentheses, but I do have terms that can be combined. So my x and my 3x, that would be 4x. My 6 plus 2, that's a positive 6 plus 2, so that would be a positive 8. So it turns out that when I simplify this expression from a, I get 4x plus 8, which was what I was hoping to get. So it turns out that a is equivalent. So they might look different, but they're still worth the same. Okay, let's look at problem B. Well, there's nothing to simplify. There's nothing to distribute. This is pretty much already simplified as much as possible. And when I compare them, the 4x's are the same, but this is plus 6, and we should have been looking for a plus 8. So these two are not equivalent. Okay, let's look at example C. Again, we'll get some room to work. I see sets of parentheses, so I think we can distribute. Let's distribute that 2 first. So 2 times x is 2x. I'll write down my plus sign. And then we've got the 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, now what we have here, we do have this 2x plus 4 that are grouped together, but there's no coefficient, there's no number in front of there. So I just think that in terms of simplifying means, no parentheses. I don't really need those parentheses there as a grouping symbol anymore. So what I'm just going to do is just get rid of them. Everything inside had already been simplified. There's no distribution involved. I don't need them as a grouping symbol. So now I've got 2x plus 4 plus 2x plus 4, and combine the like terms. So I see my 2x plus my 2x, that was 4x, and then positive 4 plus 4, that would be plus 8. So again, here we have another set of equivalent expressions. Okay, so let's take a look at our last example. And again, we'll get some room to write. And here I think we're just looking at a straight distribution. So we'll multiply 4 times x for 4x. Whatever symbol's here is there, so that would be plus. And then we'll do 4 times 2 is 8. So yes, here we have 4 plus 8, 4 plus 8. When these are simplified, they are equivalent. So D is another positive answer. So which expressions are equivalent to that expression? The only way I can answer that is by simplifying everything and then comparing those simplified answers, and my answer was A, C, or D. So that is just one strategy that I would use when you are asked to identify equivalent expressions. And that's it for our screencast.